we should be, as a society, putting a greater emphasis on quality of life and living a healthier life.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
So, what is the bottom line, and what kind of companies or what kind of structures the founders need to have if they really want to raise some pre-revenue? What the structures they need to be in place, and if apply for the whole tech industry in general, or the whole industry, or it's just particular fields like the medical field. Like, again, to replicate a product like this, you need to be a scientist to have a lot of trial and error. So tell us a little bit more so everybody understands.
Really, you've asked a lot of questions there. And so let me give a little background. Right now, there's a lot of concern. So I spend most of my time training executive teams from big pharma biotech companies. That's a majority of my behavioral work, working with companies like Alcon and Sanofi and GSK and GE Healthcare and J&J. And companies of that type. Now, we also work with moderate to smaller companies, startups. But the thing that I see right now, because I'm working right now with about a dozen companies raising capital. And as I said, anywhere from one project's 85 million, and one we just closed on was $1 million to do a phase 1 study. But the venture community right now is hesitant to invest because they're concerned about this administration and how it's going to affect regulatory process. Let's take vaccines. RFK, I think, has some real concerns about the way vaccines have been brought to market. COVID was of great concern to him. Anybody that's read his book, The Real Anthony Fauci, or Vax, Non-Vax, can get great insight into his thinking. If you're in the industry and you're not paying attention to how he thinks, it's sort of foolish, because there are going to be changes around the regulatory burden on companies. So the investment community is hesitant. If you're an investor and you invest in vaccines, you're more concerned. Now, will the federal government pull money out of early stage research, NIH, DOD? No. I think they'll redistribute it. I don't think it makes sense for us as an economy to pull the money out of the system. But I do think there's going to be a greater burden of proof placed on certain types of assets. And as a result, the investment community is watching how that plays. And so that's why you're seeing reluctance in VC. Now, private equity and family offices feel much more comfortable investing. They understand what they invest in. They have a longer vision as to what they expect and how they expect to get to a exit, and they have greater patience. Private equity and the family offices are very comfortable investing. They still have a high burden of scrutiny and due diligence that they do. But you asked, what is it that the people need to bring to the equation to get funded? Well,
pre-revenue.
I'm sorry?
Pre-revenue, because with revenue and profit, it's very easy to find funding. But pre-revenue, that's what the challenge is, right?
Yeah, so it's going to be a big idea, and it's going to be disruptive. It's going to be a really big idea.
Only the idea will do, or do you need also a team around you that can at least develop and test this idea?
Is
it possible to give all this kind of money to one person that have one good idea, or do you need a team around?
If that one person has had a track record, yes. In this industry, if you have a guy like, Art Krieg, who was a R&D guy at Pfizer, started Checkmate and Cooley. He's a guy that's proven success over and over and over again. The community will invest in his next idea. And he will put together a world-class team.
There you go. He's
proven he can do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And so he's an exceptional person in that regard. Now, if you're a first-timer, you have to have a compelling story. You have to have real science. So, anybody that's going to do proper due diligence is going to say, have you proven through a third party that this molecule does what you say it does?
Hmm. Hmm.
And so I'm working on one right now. It'll be a good example. It's methotrexate. Methotrexate is used as a first-line therapy for rheumatoid arthritis, a myriad of other inflammatory conditions, but primarily rheumatoid arthritis. And it is effective in about 20, I believe 22 to 23% of patients monotherapy. So I give you one drug, and that drug, methotrexate, works for your rheumatoid arthritis. Many patients require biologic, which are extremely expensive. Humira, you may have heard of it. Number one selling drug in the United States, in the world, for almost the last 20 years. It's a very expensive biologic, and it's paired with methotrexate to manage rheumatoid arthritis. Our premise is that the asset that we're developing, this methotrexate fornate, which is a formulation and an addition of another compound, will be effective at maybe 60 to 70% of the population on monotherapy. An investor looks at that as a safe drug that's going to be repositioned into a very large market to be really profitable. And they're happy to invest in that because of the potential and that it's already been de-risked because it's something that's been used in humans before. So now there are a number of things, cancer therapies, that are never have been used in a patient before. And the question is, in preclinical and in an animal model, can you show those to be safe and have efficacy that would merit an investment like 86 million to try to cure the disease? Right?
Yeah,
Make sense?
absolutely.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So,
Please hear.
Curtis, and there are a lot of debate in how we should approach health in general. Some people even say that if the system works the other way would be better. Like, if you pay when you are uh, good, and then when you sick is free. So like this, the whole system will be concerned in keeping you healthy rather than that keep giving drugs or invasive pills that amazing that can create one problem, can solve one problem and create another one. I like I love a lot of what we call it non-invasive treatment. There is a lot of research that have been done with ozone that is do a lot of good things for the body, and it's not that expensive. But then we have these big companies that don't like these ideas, and then um, they are very strong, right? On the other hand, for me, particularly myself, I think that a small pill can save your life, and also a vaccine as well. So it's not like, well, I don't take any pills or I don't take any vaccine or anything. We have to have common sense as well, because a little pill or a little vaccine can literally save your life, right? And let's don't take the thing to extreme. But what is your view in the industry? What would be disruption? What would be the future? Because the situation right now is when you see somebody that that has certain age, they're taking a lot of pills, yeah, and is so. What would be the solution at in the long term? What do you think about my theory that how if we reverse the thing and we pay when we are healthy, and when we are sick is free. So the whole system is 100% concerned to keep us healthy all the time, because they're making money when we're healthy, but when we are sick, they lose money.
I like your thinking in that we should be, as a society, putting a greater emphasis on quality of life and living a healthier life. The problem we have, Harry, is this. Walk through a grocery store in the United States. In the middle of the
I
store, what do you
have.
have?
I
right?
have.
It's right. Yeah, I know you have. Everybody has, right? You've got lots of salt, lots of sugar. I'll give you a great example. The other day, I don't eat much cereal. I used to love cereal. In particular, I love Cheerios. So I said to my wife, Stephanie, I'm going to go buy a box of cereal as a treat every once in a while. Not that I'm going to eat
Hmm.
the whole box, right?
Hmm.
And so I went over to the aisle, and the cereal that I used to eat as a kid in the yellow box, the Cheerios, the only way you could buy it was in this supersized box that would feed a family of 10, right? And so I'm looking and looking and looking. Do you think I can find a box, a reasonably sized box of Cheerios, traditional Cheerios? But in looking, what I realized that there was a myriad of different choices now. So that night I went home. There are between 15 and 20 different flavors of Cheerios.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.